Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is Rich again. I am getting ready to recenter the dining room chandelier and rewire it. I am going to be moving it and replacing the chandelier with a new one, but now is a good time to go ahead and do the wiring that's necessary as I replace this chandelier with a new fixture. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do to get started is to find the point where I want the chandelier to be. And I've already taken some measurements at this point, but typically you would want to center the chandelier, and most builders will build the light fixture so that it is in the center of the room. Unfortunately, this one's not quite center, and the problem that I'm running into is that we have a buffet and it's forcing us to move the table over. For us to figure out where the light fixture needs to be from side to side this way, I need to find the distance from this wall to the edge of this cabinet, this buffet, and then make the center point of that distance where the light should be, and then it should fall exactly where we want it to. The table will be in relation to the light. The first thing that I'm going to do is just drill a small pilot hole before I take the hole saw to it and drill a bigger hole, and then we'll go ahead and fish a new wire to the light switch itself, because the problem is this wire that's existing will likely not be long enough to be able to extend out and then also wire the new light fixture that we've created. It's kind of a lot of work for very little payoff, but I have to paint the ceiling anyway because we had a little bit of water damage from some roofing flashing that was not quite sealed, and it's been fixed at this point, but I'm going to have to repaint the ceiling. And so before I repaint the ceiling in this room, I wanted to go ahead and move this over. But before I do anything, I want to go ahead and turn the power off. So I'm going to go out to the breaker and shut off the power to the light, just to be safe, because I'm going to be working on the electric anyway, so I just want to go ahead and turn that off now. I was pulling the face plates off because I wanted to see where the wire for the chandelier comes from. There's a two-way switch, and I can see here on this one has 14.3 wire, and that goes down to the other switch. So this switch, when I pulled it off, it's got the constant hot, and then you have your 14.3 that's coming from the other switch, and then this goes up to the light, so it must come down across here somehow, like that. So that's what I was trying to figure out. So I guess the best thing to do is, rather than cut a hole for just the light itself, I might do a pretty big sizable square and then just replace the square when I'm done, so that I can get up in there and work a whole lot easier with the wiring. I know I've done this before and try to just cut a small hole and fish everything, and the holes are just too small to work with. So the easier way to do it is just to cut a bigger hole, see what we got in there, see what I have to work with and what I can tie the new junction box to. So let's go ahead and do that. So there's a nail right there, a U-nail, and there's one probably about 24 inches from the wall, I guess. So as you can see right here, this is where I had to get that nail, U-nail, or staple, whatever you want to call it, loose so that I could fish this wire out and fish a new line through. So actually what I'm going to do is attach the new one. I'm going to attach the new one to here and then fish it up through this hole so I don't have to get any closer. I mean, I think I've torn up enough of the walls and ceiling to take care of most of this. So just gonna fish a whole new line all the way over here and then make the turn across there. And what I need to do now is I'm gonna go ahead and I guess cut this hole and get it where I need to fish it out from so that I can mount the junction box. I cut a second hole, or shifted the hole over to kind of center on this blocking that's here, because the joists run this way. And the reason why I did that, I was like, I could shift it this way and then put the box here, but they have shallow boxes, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and use. And then the wires will come in over on the side. And then I'll take this piece that I just cut out right here and I'll put it over here and patch it back up. You won't know that it was there. Put a second coat of primer of that Zinsser's, the Bullseye primer, which was a water-based primer, on the ceiling, and I just painted it with the ceiling paint. It's right in here was that section that had water stains. It's still wet right now, but I'm just waiting to see if it will actually bleed through on this ceiling paint. If not, I think I'm good, but it doesn't look like it's coming through right now, but I think you'll have to, the time will tell actually, as it starts to dry. I'm ready to put the ceiling junction box back into place. So because the joist goes right through the center of it, there isn't room to actually put a regular size junction box. It's just too thin or too shallow of a hole. But they do have these flat pancake style junction boxes, which are very thin and they just fit right in the thickness of the drywall. And the nice thing about it is because it's actually on the joist, you affix this and screw it directly into the joist itself. So it's fairly strong. So this one here actually says that it will hold a ceiling fan or a fixture. Ceiling fan up to 35 pounds, a light fixture up to 50 pounds. So here's the light fixture that my wife ended up purchasing. I believe she got it through Amazon. I will put the information about it in the description below. So let's go ahead and open it up. Okay. Oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Oh, I see which one this is. So it's going to look something like that once it's put together. There's some little crystals that dangle off the bottom of the chandelier, and this has got a lot of crystals in it. So still going with the theme of the antique bronze most throughout the house, so that's what we chose here. So let me go ahead and put this together, and then we'll determine how long the chain needs to be. So I've got 8-foot ceilings, and I need to cut this chain down to get this to be the right length. So I know that I want the complete overall length to be about 31, 32 inches, somewhere around in there. I don't want it any longer than that. And I know that this distance with the dangling crystals to the top of this chain is about 20 inches. So that gives me another 10 or 11 inches, because I need to factor in the height of this, and this is actually a little over 1 inch, about almost 1.25 inches. So 1.25 inches. So safely, let's just make this chain 10 inches. That way there's going to be some extra, and I'm not hanging down too low. Alright, so if I make the chain 10 inches long, it means I need to cut it right here. Not very much, apparently. So you just want to weave it back and forth so that it doesn't hang off to the side. It's just part of the chain. Okay, I think I got it all together. So the chain is the right length, the cover, and then this mount. So now I just need to go and mount those long 2-inch screws up into the junction box, and then I can wire it up. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go ahead and get all the grounds together and wire those up. So I'm going to do that right now. Now I got to put the little clip, little crimp, copper crimp on. Now this is the constant, the neutral from the hot, coming from the panel. So this needs to be together. So this one goes up to the light switch, and that gets connected to that, and these are going to the other switch on the other side of the wall. Now you just need to connect the hot from the panel to the hot on the 14.3. So I'm installing the curtain rods. We didn't have curtain rods before in the dining room, so we're kind of changing it up. And this is the kit that that my wife purchased. It's actually 36 to 66, and it's a double rod. So in case we want to put a shear in behind the curtains, it allows for that. We're not installing it right now. We want to see how much light it actually gives us before we add a shear. But hopefully this is a pretty easy install. And then the curtains themselves that we're actually putting up, these are 84-inch curtains in length, and they're 48 inches width. And these were purchased from World Market, I believe. It's called the Corinne. Okay, so I finally got everything cleaned up and put back into place, and as you can see, the chandelier is all lit up. It looks good. It's centered with the table. Obviously it's not centered with the room itself, simply because I have the buffet here, but this is great. It was off-center before, like I showed you, and now we've got it all buttoned up. It just kind of gave it a little bit of a facelift. Didn't really change the color or anything like that, just kind of cleaned that up and gave it a little fresh look. Hey, if you found these videos helpful and you enjoy them, please like or subscribe, or leave me a question in the comments below. Happy to answer them. All right, thanks everybody.